Hi. Oh man. So I have come to the realization. I've always known this, but like now it's like, okay, I think I'm entering this season in my life where I'm really owning this reality and truth about me in a way that's more intentional. And what I'm talking about is um, I've noticed that people with whom I interact, I tend to be somebody who reminds people of who they are. I'm a big mirror, you know, and that can be really fun sometimes, and sometimes not so much. But I think maybe I should start warning people who come into contact with me of like, just so you know, just so you know, I will illuminate your whole existence from the inside out and reflect back to you all the parts of you for the purpose of helping you remember who you are, remember who you were created to exist as, and remember and give voice again and space to all the desires of your heart that you've convinced yourself that didn't really matter, that they weren't realistic, that it's just too much to ask for. Like, no, this is enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. And I I've really settled into that for myself. Like because I do so much introspection, I'm a big mirror for myself. And I use relationships as mirrors because I take a step back. It's really strong. And I look at it through the lens of introspection and like self-awareness and like, okay, how did I show up here? Is that what I wanted to do? Is that how I want to continue to exist going forward? You know, all these things. And anyways, if you're here, and here, I mean here in my energy, whether you're watching this through social media or any platform, um, welcome, welcome. And I feel like people are definitely brought into my life and my energy for a reason. And I think I want to say, like, congratulations, like, you're ready to elevate yourself into the version of you that is just more. Like you want more. You want more out of life. You want more than the job that you have. You want more than the relationships that you have. You want more than the experiences that you've had. And I'm here to tell you not only that like that's okay, but that's necessary. Like you have to live into the full purpose of everything you were created to be. You must. Like, why wouldn't you? Oh my God. And I get it. Like, there's seasons of life where you just can't, you don't have capacity to do more, to want more, to fight more. Like, you just don't. Like, when I was in the thick of like early motherhood, I was working off of like 2 hours of sleep for years. And and coffee and malnourishment and dehydration and abuse and all this shit. And it's like I didn't. But the desire never fell asleep. I never was able to like quell it. And I love that about me, that like no matter what's going on, there's always a desire for more. And it's not like discontentment. Like there's still joy in the moments and there's still contentment in the moments, but it's like I know eventually I was created to do these things and experience these experiences and live my life as just existing, being more than enough. And it's like, while just existing sounds simple, and it's like, that's the simplest thing we could simplify life down to. You actually have to fight for that. You have to fight for the simplicity of being able to just exist and that being enough. First, you have to fight for it within yourself, of convincing yourself and undoing all the lies and programming that we've been told since we were little, of no, you have to perform in order to earn love. No, you have to be productive in order to have worth. Like, no, you have to be working. You have to, show me your checklist of what you've done today, and you get your gold star, whatever it is. And it's like, to really undo the conditioning of that was set in us during our developmental stages is a lot of work. It's a lot of inner work, and so it costs a lot to undo that, to be able to just exist freely. But the part about just existing freely is free. That's why it feels so liberating. That's why it's freedom. And let me tell you, it's worth it. Let me tell you that when you start to allow the dreams and the desires within your heart to have a voice again, to really even just listen to them, like, okay, I remember I used to want to do this. I used to desire this for my life. I used to desire this kind of love, this kind of family, this kind of dreams, this kind of experience, this kind of lifestyle. Like, do not let anybody convince you that it's too much. Do not let anybody convince you that you're too much. Their minds are too small to grasp and comprehend and hold the vision of who you are and everything that you were created to be. And every desire in your heart will keep nagging at you to remind you, we need to get back on our path of what we're here to experience. And so the desire isn't the enemy, it's the friend, it's the only friend. And everything else that pulls you away from that, that tries to convince you that no, you should be more realistic, no, you should be more like, just take care of what needs to be taken care of, and then with the free time that you have, like, mm-mm, mm-mm. If you come into my energy and you're in this space and you're listening to me right now, I know that that's not going to be enough for you. You will never be fulfilled in that basic shit, because it's not fulfilling, and it's not what you were created for. The essence of what you were created for and the desires in your heart are waiting for you to want them back and align with you. And once you come to that acceptance and eventually embracing that, and then eventually fighting for that by just existing and allowing those desires to come up and quieting the other noise and lies, all the things around you will start to conspire in your favor to help bring all that together with you. And it's not easy. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. It's fucking hard. Like, it's seemingly impossible, but is it worth it? Mm-hmm. Is it worth it? Yes. And the lie is the fear that going for that thing or that life that we imagine or desire, or are even afraid to admit that we desire for ourselves, that the tasks and the steps that it takes to get there are so daunting. Like, it's so beyond anything that's possible, so beyond my capacity that, like, why would I even bother? That's a lie. What's really shitty is living in a life that you've outgrown, living in a life that you were created for so much more than. Like, that's something you should be afraid of, is complacency and remaining as a victim in your life, of saying, well, I can't because mm-mm. It's time. It's time for you to start. It's time for you to start speaking all the reasons why you can and you will, because you're worth it. Have a good day.